All right, ready to dive in. Today we're taking a look at Nothing Like the Movies by Len Painter.
Ooh, fun.
Now, we're not going to spoil anything, but hopefully
Ah.
we can give you a taste to make you want to read it yourself.
Okay.
We're working from an basically an early digital copy. So think of us as your sneak peek team.
Exactly. And let me tell you, second chances and how our ideas of romance change. That's what this book's all about.
Ooh, I like where this is going. So who are our main characters here?
Liz and Wes.
Okay.
High school sweethearts. They even went to UCLA together. But then things fell apart. And years later,
Oh.
Wes is back at UCLA as a freshman again.
Wait, hold up. He's back as a freshman after all these years. What?
And Liz, she's a senior now.
Okay, there's got to be a story there.
Oh, there is. Wes has a past. It's hinted at throughout the excerpts. Family responsibilities, some tough times after his father passed away, and the feeling that he had to put his own life on hold. It makes you wonder about what he's been through.
Yeah, I can see how that would change a person.
Yeah.
So he shows up back at UCLA, hoping to rekindle things with Liz.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that doesn't go as smoothly as he'd hoped.
Not at all. In fact, Liz has completely moved on. She's not the same girl who loved rom-coms and dreamt of fairy tale endings. She's determined to make a name for herself, and she's landed an internship with the famous documentary producer, Lilith Grossman.
Okay, so she's traded in the rom-coms for some real-world ambition. I bet that makes for some interesting tension with Wes, especially if he's trying to win her back.
Definitely. And it doesn't help that Wes is trying to recapture their old dynamic with all these grand romantic gestures straight out of a movie.
Oh, come on.
He even serenades her beneath her dorm window, but Liz is having none of it.
Oh, that's hilarious. I can just imagine how awkward that must be for her. She's trying to be a serious professional, and he's over here acting like a lovesick puppy.
Exactly. And you know what else adds to the drama? Liz has a new friend.
Oh, no.
And guess what? He's a guy.
Uh-oh. Now we've got a potential love triangle brewing. I can only imagine how Wes reacts to that.
He definitely doesn't take it well. And things get even more complicated when Liz suddenly introduces a fake boyfriend named Clark into the mix.
Wait, a fake boyfriend? Why would she do that?
It seems like she's trying to make Wes jealous and prove that she's moved on, but I also get the feeling that she might be trying to protect herself from getting hurt again.
That makes sense. It sounds like she's built some pretty high walls around her heart. So what's this Clark guy like? Is he actually a threat to Wes?
He's described as this big, friendly giant who's totally willing to play along with Liz's charade. There are some really funny scenes where Wes tries to size him up and act all alpha male, but Clark doesn't even seem fazed.
Oh, I bet those scenes are gold. This is starting to sound like a rom-com, but with a lot more depth than usual.
Absolutely. And here's where things get really interesting. Remember that internship Liz has with the documentary producer? Well, the project she's working on is a series about the UCLA baseball team. It's supposed to be this raw, behind-the-scenes look at the players, kind of like that show Hard Knocks, but for baseball.
Ooh, I love that show. It's so real and intense.
Yeah.
So, where does Wes fit into all of this?
He's the star player, of course.
No way. Talk about an awkward situation. Here she is trying to avoid this guy, and now she has to film him for a whole documentary.
The irony is definitely not lost on the reader. It creates this delicious tension where Liz is constantly being thrown into Wes's orbit, even though she's trying to keep her distance.
This is getting good.
Yeah.
I could just picture all the awkward encounters and stolen glances.
Yeah.
So, is the whole documentary filmed at UCLA?
Actually, there's a twist. Lilith, the producer, decides to film Wes in his hometown of Omaha while he packs up his mother's house. And guess who she decides to take along?
Don't tell me. Liz.
You got it.
Wow, sending them on a little road trip together. Lilith is playing with fire. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. It's like she's intentionally setting the stage for some major drama, and she definitely doesn't disappoint. While they're in Omaha, Wes's younger sister, Sarah, spills a huge secret to Clark about Wes's past. And it's a secret that explains so much about why Wes is the way he is, all the choices he's made.
Ooh, juicy. I'm dying to know what the secret is. Painter is really good at dropping these little breadcrumbs of information that make you want to keep reading.
She really is. It's like she knows exactly how to hook you and leave you hanging.
Okay, so we've got second chances, complicated relationships, family secrets. Is there anything else we should be on the lookout for in these excerpts?
Well, there's this bet that Wes makes with Liz that really caught my eye. He challenges her to a game at a party where everyone is wearing ski masks. If he can correctly identify her in a crowd of masked people, she has to go on a date with him.
Hold on. He thinks he can pick her out of a crowd when everyone's wearing a ski mask? That's bold.
And a little bit crazy, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a classic grand gesture, but I think it says a lot about how deeply Wes believes he knows Liz.
Yeah.
And it puts Liz in a tough spot.
Does she play along, or does she shut him down completely?
Ooh, I'm getting butterflies just thinking about it. So tell me, does he actually manage to find her?
Whoa.
Oh, come on. Don't leave me hanging.
Let's just say that party doesn't exactly go as planned. Let's just say things get a little complicated.
Okay, now you have to tell me more. What happens?
Well, I don't want to spoil the fun, but let's just say there's a bit of an accident during a baseball scrimmage.
Uh-oh.
And Wes ends up in the hospital.
Oh, no. Is he okay?
He's all right in the end, but it's a pretty scary moment, and it really throws things into perspective for both Liz and Wes.
Yeah, I bet. It's like suddenly their little game of push and pull doesn't seem so important anymore.
Exactly. And you see this real shift in their dynamic. Liz rushes to the hospital, totally worried about Wes, and she ends up taking care of him.
Oh.
You can practically feel the walls she's built around her heart start to crumble.
That's kind of sweet. So even though she's trying to play it cool, she can't help but care about him. Do they have like a heart-to-heart moment while he's recovering?
There are definitely some tender moments. They start to open up to each other in a way they haven't before. And Wes finally reveals something that's been weighing on him for years. The real reason why he left UCLA the first time around.
Ooh, so we're finally going to get the full story on his mysterious past. What is it? Tell me.
I can't reveal everything, but let's just say it involves a promise he made to his father and a sacrifice he felt he had to make for his family. It really paints him in a new light.
Wow, that's heavy stuff. I can see why he's been carrying that burden around for so long. Does Liz understand?
She does, and it changes her whole perception of Wes. She sees him not just as the guy who broke her heart, but as someone who's been through a lot and made some tough choices.
So that's like a turning point for them. It sounds like they're starting to connect on a deeper level.
Definitely. But even with this newfound understanding, their path back to each other isn't easy. Liz is still hesitant to fully let go of her past hurt, and Wes is struggling to balance his desire for a second chance with his responsibilities to his family.
Oh, I bet that creates some serious inner turmoil for both of them. So where do things go from there?
Well, remember that trip to Omaha to pack up his mother's house?
Uh-huh.
That's where things really come to a head.
Right. I'd almost forgotten about that. Being back in his hometown, surrounded by memories, that's got to bring up a lot of emotions for Wes.
It does, and for Liz, too. She starts to see a different side of Wes as he interacts with his family and deals with the task of letting go of his childhood home.
Yeah. Sounds like they're both being forced to confront their pasts in a really direct way.
Yeah.
Does this lead to any breakthroughs for them?
There are definitely some intense moments. And remember that secret that Sarah, Wes's sister, revealed to Clark?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Liz ends up finding out the truth about Wes's past, and it completely changes everything.
Ooh, this is getting good. I'm on the edge of my seat here. What's the truth? What did she find out?
Well, I don't want to give away too much, but...
Come on, you can't just leave me hanging like that.
Okay. Let's just say the reason for their breakup isn't what Liz thought it was.
Wait, what? You mean Wes didn't cheat on her like she believed?
Exactly. And the truth about why they broke up is actually much more complicated and heartbreaking than anyone realized.
Wow, that's a huge bombshell. It completely reframes everything we thought we knew about their relationship. So how does Liz react?
She's shocked, of course, and relieved, in a way. But she's also angry that Wes kept this secret from her for so long.
I can only imagine. After all this time, to find out that the foundation of their breakup was based on a misunderstanding. That's got to be earth-shattering.
It is, and it raises so many questions about trust, forgiveness, and second chances.
Yeah. I'm sensing a major turning point coming on.
You're right. The revelation of the truth about their breakup is definitely a pivotal moment in the story, but it doesn't automatically solve all their problems. They still have a lot to work through, both individually and as a couple.
So even though they've, cleared the air about the past, there's still a lot of uncertainty about their future.
Exactly. They've reached a crossroads. Do they try to rebuild their relationship on this new foundation of truth? Or do they finally go their separate ways?
Now, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm so invested in their story at this point.
Yeah.
I just need to know what happens next.
And that's exactly what makes these excerpts so compelling. Painter drops these little bombshells and then leaves you hanging, desperate to find out what happens next.
It's like she knows how to push all the right buttons to keep you hooked.
She definitely does. And just when you think you've got things figured out, she throws in another twist.
Oh, no. When? Don't tell me Wes gets hit by another baseball.
Not quite, but there is another dramatic event that forces them to confront their feelings.
Okay, you've got to give me a little something here. What happens?
Well,
Please don't leave me in suspense.
right, right. Remember that bet they did at the ski mask party? The one where Liz agreed to go on a date with Wes if he could identify her in the crowd.
Oh, yeah. That was such a fun scene. So does he find her?
He does. And let's just say the moment they finally lock eyes is electric. But then something unexpected happens, something that throws everything into chaos.
Wait, hold on. What happens? Do they get interrupted? Does someone get hurt?
That, my friend, is where we have to leave things for now.
They're killing me.
I know. But trust me, the way Painter leaves this scene hanging is pure genius. You're left wondering if their connection will be strong enough to overcome this latest obstacle.
Okay. I can handle a little suspense, but we're going to need to unpack all of this in the next part of our deep dive.
You got it. We'll pick up right where we left off and explore the fallout from this dramatic turn of events.
All right, so last we left Liz and Wes. Things were getting pretty intense at that ski mask party. Wes had just found Liz in the crowd, just like he knew he would. What happens next?
Well, remember, Wes is on the UCLA baseball team.
Yeah, and Liz is interning with the documentary crew that's filming them. Right.
Exactly. So right after that charged moment at the party, Wes rushes off to a late-night scrimmage. And wouldn't you know it, he gets hit by a line drive.
Oh, no. I knew something bad was going to happen. Is he okay?
He ends up in the hospital. Luckily, he avoids any serious injury.
Okay.
But for Liz, it's a real wake-up call.
I can imagine. She's been trying so hard to keep him at arm's length. But now seeing him vulnerable like that?
It breaks down all her defenses. She realizes that despite everything that's happened between them, she still cares about him deeply.
Oh, and how does Wes react to all of this? Is he using his injury to try and get her sympathy?
Not at all. In fact, he's pretty stoic about the whole thing, but you can tell that he's touched by Liz's concern.
So they're both letting their guards down a little. Does this lead to any breakthroughs for them?
There's this really powerful scene. Liz is taking care of Wes in the hospital.
Yeah.
He's finally able to open up to her about the real reason behind their breakup, the secret he's been carrying for all these years.
Wait, I thought we already knew the reason for their breakup. Didn't his sister reveal that he had made a promise to his father and sacrificed his own happiness for his family?
That was part of it, but there's more to the story. It turns out that Wes never actually cheated on Liz like she'd believed. He was covering for someone else, protecting someone he loved, and the guilt of that lie had been eating away at him ever since.
Wow, that changes everything. So their whole breakup was based on a misunderstanding. No wonder he's been so determined to win her back.
Exactly. And Liz is completely floored by this revelation. It's like the ground has shifted beneath her feet.
Yeah.
All this time she'd been carrying around this anger and resentment towards him, and now she realizes that it was all misplaced.
So does she forgive him? Do they get back together?
It's not that simple. While she understands why he did what he did, she's still hurt by his betrayal. They have a lot of baggage to unpack, a lot of trust to rebuild.
This is getting so good.
Yeah.
It's not just like a fluffy romance. It's a real exploration of relationships and how we deal with past hurts.
And it doesn't shy away from the messy parts of love. It shows that even when you have strong feelings for someone, even when you understand their motivations, it takes work to overcome betrayal and build a healthy relationship.
So even after this big reveal, their future together is still uncertain.
Exactly. They've reached a crossroads. Do they try to rebuild their relationship on this new foundation of truth, or do they finally go their separate ways?
I love that she doesn't give us easy answers. It makes the story feel so much more authentic.
Right.
So what does this all mean? Why should our listeners pick up a copy of Nothing Like the Movies?
This book is more than just a second chance romance. It's about facing your past, confronting your fears, and learning to forgive yourself and others. It's about the complexities of family, the sacrifices we make for those we love, and the power of second chances. And most importantly, it's about discovering that sometimes real life can be even more surprising and fulfilling than anything you'd find in the movies.
Beautifully said. I think you've convinced me to add this to my reading list, and I bet our listeners are feeling the same way.
I hope so.
So there you have it, folks. If you're looking for a story that will stay with you long after you turn the last page, look no further than Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. It's a story about second chances, about growth and forgiveness, and about the complexities of love and relationships.
It's a reminder that even when life throws you curveballs, even when things seem messy and uncertain, there's always hope for a happy ending, just maybe not the one you originally expected.
And on that note, we'll leave you to dive into the world of Liz and Wes and discover for yourself if they can rewrite their own happy ending.